showing off for new things. Couldn't take it all, so I gave her change. She called me.
Hey, we're at the Lonestar Sports Show right here in Oak Cliff, Texas. All things sports, all things Texas. Today's show is brought to you by Fast Model Sports Technologies. They're in Chicago, Illinois, right there on Wisconsin Boulevard, where the whole process starts from Michigan Avenue. I'm sorry, I'm in Milwaukee. Everything kicks and goes there at Fast Model Sports, leading us into the 21st century through the vehicle technology, basketball at its finest through the vehicle of technology with LoneStarSports.com. Right there, you can take a look there at LoneStarSportsNetwork.com, sponsored by FastModelSports.com. Go see what Ross Comerford, CEO and founder, has for the future in basketball. Today's show, man, sitting right here with Snoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Honor You Money, Lady Life, driving us and keeping us between the lanes, doing what we're supposed to do. It is the eve of Super Bowl. Before we get ready to figure out, can the GOAT, who, in my opinion, already is the GOAT, he doesn't need this win to validate it. It just brings it a little farther along or pushes it a little farther down the road or just makes it look more realistic of how he is. He's kind of just piling on the titles, if you will. You know, kind of a lot of like all of your GOATs. You know, most of your Hall of Famers and greatest of all times have success after they've been anointed. Well, in my opinion, Tom Brady has been anointed as the GOAT, as a no-brainer Hall of Famer, first ballot candidate to go right straight into the Hall of Fame there in Canton. So that's not what he's playing for. He's just validating what all of our thoughts and all of our votes and what the writers and sports writers and fans and experts all know he's good. Now, the last time that we were on the Lone Star Sports Show talking Tom Brady, talking football before we dove into everything going on in the Big 12 and how crazy it is. Big shout out to the guys out in Lubbock. Big win for you in overtime over the Longhorns this weekend. But one of the conversations that I was being challenged with, and some of you may know, and most of you probably don't know, I'm a former quarterback. And how I got to be a basketball guy, that's a whole nother story. But when I made the statement that I still had a silent wheel ticket in my head, Snoop, of, how I felt about Tom Brady and what I was saying. I was comparing him to the quarterback there at Dan Marino at Miami and the career he had and the type of quarterbacks. And even a little bit, somebody I left out was the elder of my man Archie's son, Manning's two boys, Eli Manning. Not Eli, but
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. Those quarterbacks I admire. You and I had a show before the show, as they often say, the meeting before the meeting.
Yeah.
You and I had a show before the show today. We'll go ahead and share that with the general public.
Yeah, that was more for you.
That was more for me.
Yeah, you had to rehearse.
And I wasn't rehearsing. I was letting you know what I thought.
Yeah,
I wasn't rehearsing, Coach.
Right.
Nothing rehearsal.
Well, let's go.
That.
It seemed like you're still rehearsing right now. You talking to yourself about
I'm not talking to
Are you
hey,
talking
I'll
to
let
me?
you get your fan club.
You talking to me? You talking to them? Or you talking to yourself?
I'll let you get your ad in for Task Cam right there while you were getting your fan club lined up.
Hey, all they need to do is hear me.
Yeah, well, they hear you now.
Yeah, that's all they need to do is hear me.
They hear you and see you.
Yeah.
My deal is that I just always admired quarterbacks.
Okay.
That not necessarily two-dimensional quarterbacks, but guys that could extend plays. A lot of people want to say that guys that extend plays are just athletes.
Yeah.
But when you start looking at your Fran Tarkentons, you start looking at your Joe Montanas, your Roger Staubachs, and my young guy that falls in that mold is Deshaun Watson.
Coach, I'm in a quarterback. I'm not looking for a pocket quarterback. I'm not looking for a dual threat quarterback. They got all them titles.
Right.
I'm not looking for a pocket dual threat quarterback.
Well, you're a lot like me. You're looking for a winning quarterback.
I'm looking for a winning quarterback.
A winning quarterback.
That's all I'm looking for.
How you choose
and it ain't no better winning quarterback than number 12 for the New England Patriots.
There's been a lot of guys working on 12, so go ahead, New England Patriots.
I mean, if you let me finish, that's what I said for the New England Patriots.
Slow there. You like you wasn't sure about.
Well, I didn't want the people to go hear it slow and then fast and slow and then fast. So I try to come down to you. That's what
Come down to me now. You
Yeah,
can't,
that's how you was talking. You was talking real deliberate, and so I had to bring it down too.
bring it down too.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Well,
I had to bring it down.
Keep the content
That's
going.
what coach. That's what stars do. Stars they get a good feel for their team.
Okay. And then they line up and do whatever it is.
Mesh it up together.
Well, you know who the star is there that knows how to get a good feel for his team?
Yeah.
Bill Belichick.
I mean, he's one of the stars.
Okay.
He's definitely one of the stars. Because the thing is, we hadn't seen Belichick win without Brady, and we ain't seen Brady win without Belichick.
Well, when Lawrence Taylor came in and gave his interpretation, his experience, and how he became a Bill Belichick fan.
Well, he don't know nothing but Bill Belichick as a defensive coordinator, so we're not gonna listen to Lawrence Taylor. We don't know if we don't know if Lawrence Taylor was high when he said that.
He might have been high, but it was accurate. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can tell them that. Y'all listen.
Line him up.
Y'all
okay.
listen.
Now you're discrediting Lawrence Taylor.
I'm discrediting Lawrence Taylor as far as telling me about some coaches.
Oh, all right. There we go.
He can tell me how to get to the quarterback.
We'll be back in 180 seconds with more Super Bowl talk right here on Basketball Thursday. We get ready to dive in. We got a long list of two good guests coming in tonight. I shouldn't say a long list, but two good guests coming in tonight with some quality information when we get into basketball. We come back. I'm going to keep on handling and trying to educate the basketball coach on some football over here. Back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show.
You can't touch me. I'm about to rise up. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire, on fire, fire, on fire, on fire. Fire. I woke up like this. I'm buttoned up like this. I turn up like this. All I wanna do is burn it up like this. I stay like that. Loco straight cray like that. I kill it, 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 kill it. Tell him on a play like that. I'm the man in here. Spend 150 grand in here. So hot, need a fan in here. Oh yeah, they're playing my jam in here. It's an inferno. If you don't know, baby, now you know. Say, oh we do. Come on. Oh we do. You can't touch me. I'm too high up. You can't touch me. I'm about to rise up. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire, on fire, fire, on fire, on fire. Fire. I rock like this. I make it hot like this. I'm about to drop it like this. I'm all the way up on the top like this. I'm advanced like that. I do my little dance like that. I kill it, 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 kill it. Then I call the ambulance like that. It's going down in here. Y'all know where the crown in here. Y'all know I got the gold in here. Oh yeah, I like the way it sound in here.
Hey, right back here at the Lone Star Sports Network with the Lone Star Sports Show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 8. Get us on YouTube. Sometimes you get a little interview, a little preview right there on Periscope or on Facebook, what's going on. But if you really want to know what's happening, you already know what's happening, because if you can hear me talking, that means you know what's going on on the Lone Star Sports Network.
Yeah, that's where it go down. That's where it go down.
But, Coach, you just took all the credibility away from a Hall of Famer.
Coach, I ain't took no credibility away
You
from
say he didn't know
Lawrence
anything about coaching.
Lawrence Taylor took his credibility away from when he got arrested a couple of times.
Okay, so everybody's been arrested.
No, but I don't. I just said I don't know if he high or not. That's all I said. And I don't think I'll be the only one to say that.
He was coming with facts. No, you probably are not.
Yeah, I mean, I want Lawrence Taylor. All I want Lawrence Taylor to do is put his Hall of Fame jacket on every now and then when we need him to. I don't need him to go in there and talk to me about coaches and who the greatest and all that. He can tell me about Belichick as a defensive coordinator.
And that was what he was talking about.
Tom Brady can talk to me about Belichick as a coach,
right?
As a championship coach.
Well, I mean, he's there right now. We're talking about somebody. It's always when you want to evaluate something. Let's get to the end and evaluate.
Well,
how many tests have you had graded in the process of you taking the test?
Let me have Vince Wolford or Willie McGinnis and all them guys like that.
McGinnis was right there with he was actually a part of this thing I'm talking about.
What did he say?
It's the exact same thing, the preparation.
Yeah.
preparation was the number one thing.
But all I said is that Bill hadn't won any without Brady, and Brady hadn't won any without Bill.
Yeah, well, so they're a good team.
They're a good team.
Team sport, Coach.
You're the one that started breaking. I don't know where you was going with it earlier.
I'm breaking it down to the fact of deal come down. The only way you're gonna beat this team, if that you can get a step ahead or be in step with their adjustments.
Okay.
The same thing that I said when last week when
I can go with
they were playing the AFC Championship game.
I can go with that.
Real good defense, right?
Right.
Yeah. But the deal is that if you always are a step or two steps behind Tom Brady and Belichick, we're gonna make them the duo. We're gonna make them Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
You know, if you always are a step behind those two guys, then when the clock runs out, you're gonna be a step behind.
Let me tell you this, Coach. This is the difference between good and great. Okay.
Oh wow.
No, I'm just saying.
No, it's something a whole other issue. I really want to hear what you have to say on this.
This is good and great. I want you to go watch, and I want everybody that's listening to go to a game, especially a playoff game. Go to a playoff game, and you watch how these guys come out. Everybody comes out playing with their game plan, playing aggressive and different things like that. The difference between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick right now is that it doesn't bother them. They're never playing worried about losing. So some of these guys won't make throws in the fourth quarter that they made in the first, second, and third quarter. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's a gamer.
Some coaches won't call a game aggressive like they did in the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter. They won't do it in the fourth quarter. That's why Philly's in the Super Bowl right now. When Philly jumped up on Minnesota, Philly wasn't waiting on Minnesota to come back. Did you see them right before the half? They could have just went in the locker room.
No, they kept pushing.
They could have went in the locker room just with the 14-point lead. Yeah. They didn't have but 30-something seconds. They went down there and got another field goal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just the understanding of the sense of urgency of knowing that you need every point you can get.
Well, that's what. Look at Tom Brady and those guys. Look at how they looked. The big play against Jacksonville, 4th down and 18. Now you couldn't get in first 3 plays. They couldn't go get 10 yards. Okay, but it's 4th and 18. Did you see how calm Tom looked in the pocket, hitting that boy 20 yards down the field across the middle? Did you? Okay, but wait a minute. Why? Jacksonville, y'all been bump and run. Y'all been playing aggressive all these other downs, and they couldn't get no yard. Why do you drop back scared now on 4th and 18 and get these lanes? Why do you run zone on 4th and 18?
Yeah, I mean,
they worried about giving up a big play.
Well, they're worried about giving up a big play, and they've gone to a panic. It's a level of panic, a level of uncertainty, because now you've gone away from your plan and you're just guessing and reacting then.
Yeah. You know, but you so the worst thing you can do is start talking to yourself and start worrying about the play and what's going to happen, what can potentially happen after the play versus stick to your strength. Just go to your strength. Cowboys did it against Green Bay. Cowboys came in and pressured last year. They pressured Aaron Rodgers, first down, second down. It's third down in like 19, 20 yards. Cowboys jumped back out in the deep zone, gave up a big play. First down, got a chance to kick a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, you see it happen. I still go back to the point. I know we're here on Basketball Thursday, but it is the eve of the eve of the eve of Super Bowl 51, I believe.
It's gonna be a tough one right here for Bill, Coach, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Coach, you got a coach over there in Peterson. You know, I know
that's somewhat in Bill's likeness.
Hey, right in Bill's likeness. You got it, Coach. I call it a cognac coach. You can't tell me that man ain't drinking some cognac at night. Coach, the one thing he don't care about is messing up. He ain't never talking about messing up. First thing he said.
That's because he done his due diligence.
First thing he said when Nick Foles, well, you create a culture. Your players think the same thing when they heard it over and over and over and over and over. Soon as my man Wentz got hurt, he set the tone back then. He told him, even though he wasn't going to do the same thing that Wentz did because they're two different players, he said, we're not going to change. We're going to be aggressive. You know, we're going to do like we did all year long. When somebody else got hurt, we go with the next guy, get him prepared to go, and we're going to do what we've been doing all year, which they hadn't been doing what they did all year. The only thing they did The only thing they did with Nick Foles that they did with Carson Wentz, they never stopped being an aggressive, down the field team.
Well, it goes back to a term that we always talk about, we always analyze and look at. We talk about programs and systems, and then we talk about people that have runs and have teams.
Yeah.
You know, you can get in a rhythm. So when you have a program or a system, I mean, it's no different than the way this studio operates. We got multiple devices over there, and Lady Life has got it fixed. You know, we don't have to use that tripod. We can use that other tripod over there.
Right.
We know that a tripod is required in that particular capacity.
Well, it's definitely preparation, Coach. But I'm gonna tell you this: you can't tell, Coach. It's 31 other teams that get prepared. I mean, I'm talking about really well.
Yeah, they get prepared really well.
It's when you prepare. Let's use this word. Bill and his staff and his team are very confident in their preparation. See, some people prepare.
There you go. You said it now.
But when they get to the fourth quarter, they're not confident in their preparation.
They're not confident in the preparation.
That's all I'm saying.
And you're only going to be confident with your preparation when you have the appropriate amount of reps, when you understand the concept of what it is that you're doing. You know what I mean? And that's what brings about that clarity and that understanding of exactly, you know, how this thing lines up and how this thing is going to work. You believe it's going to work. We don't panic about certain things because we know how it's supposed to work, and we've seen it work before.
Yeah.
And it comes down to confidence. You know, you and your staff can believe something and understand something, but until those players believe it, that it's not going to function in the same way. That's the whole delivery on everything.
Right.
We're on Basketball Thursday. We're going to be bringing in the next segment, we're going to be bringing in Region 14 Coach Bobby Taylor right there at Paris Junior College. And we're going to be looking at some things. I got a chance to actually take a look at 2 solid Region 14 games this past weekend. I got a chance to, this past week, Wednesday night, Saturday night. This coming Saturday, I'll be going over to a big one this weekend. It's going to be that everything is about, you know, I call it the north and south. They actually are calling it the east and south now. That's actually some new terminology that the Region 14 has started using. But
you know what I call it, don't you?
What's that?
The top and the bottom.
I told Mike Marcus about that, boy. He died laughing, boy.
Coach is right there in front of you, Coach.
You put it whatever top of your top division and bottom
I want the listeners to be able to go to that web page right there so they can see for themselves what it is.
Yeah, they go Google Region 14 men's basketball standards.
Or go pick up the Tyler newspaper or the Athens newspaper. I know they got the JUCO stuff in there.
Right.
Kilgore newspaper.
Oh yeah, those little towns like that, they live off of that.
They live off that.
That's what they look at. That's their experience, you know.
Yeah.
But this coming Saturday at 4:00, I'll be going over myself to watch Trinity Valley at Tyler Junior College.
Where is that game gonna be at?
At Tyler Junior College, 10-1. Trinity Valley is hitting the road, leading
that ought to be a big
the
one,
league. You know, it's a big one, Coach. And playing 10-2. Tyler Junior College, who's tied for second and third.
Last time we came on, Paris was in first, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. It's tight up there in the north.
Yeah, they move around. They got 10-1, 10-2, 10-2, 7-4, 6-5. I mean, you know, ain't no tricks in the game, Coach. You gotta go play right now.
Well, let's go play some bills, and we come back and we'll see what we got.
Yeah. Well, we come back. We bring Bobby Taylor back in. We're gonna visit with Paris, who's tied for second in the North Division / East Division now, and we'll be back with more Lone Star Sports Show. Particular segment is brought to you by Bridge Basketball Academy. Take a look and listen. We'll be back in 180 seconds.
Bridge Basketball Academy offers Vertimax. In this class, trainees will partner up with 4 to 6 other trainees with the same skill set while working on their speed, power, reaction, quickness, and vertical jump. The game of basketball is more about quickness and agility than straight line speed. The high school basketball court is 84 feet long by 50 feet wide. The The college NBA court is 94 feet long by 50 feet wide. Why is this important information in preparing a basketball player? This unique game is played in a small space with 10 players maneuvering to score points and stop other players from scoring points. The ability to accelerate, decelerate, move feet quickly, and change directions under control is vital in becoming a successful basketball player. Our goal is to put you on a monthly Vertimax plan that will increase your speed, power, and vertical jump. Classes start at $20. Sign up today when we get back on the line, or find more information online at bridgebasketballacademy.com.
Smoking weed in the street without cops harassing. Imagine going to court with no trial. Lifestyle cruising blue Bahama waters. No welfare supporters. More conscious of the way we raise our daughters. Days are shorter, nights are colder. Feeling like life is over. These snakes strike like a cobra. The world's hot, my son got knocked. Evidently, it's elementary. They want us all gone eventually. Trooping out of state for a plate. Knowledge, if coke was cooked without the garbage, we'd all have the top dollars. Imagine everybody flashing. Fashion, designer clothes. Lacing your click up with diamond rolls. Your people's holding dough, no parole, no rubbers. Going raw, imagine law with no undercovers. Just some thoughts for the mind. I take a glimpse into time, watch the blimp read, the world is mine.
If I rule the world,
imagine that.
I free all my sons. Black diamonds and pearls.
Could it be, if you could be mine, we both shine.
If I rule the world,
still living for today, in these last days of time. Yo, way to be paradise life relaxing. Black, Latino, and Anglo-Saxon. Amani exchange the range. Cash, lost tribe of Shabazz. Free at last, brand new whips to crash. Then we laugh in the illa path. The villa houses for the crew, how we do. Trees for breakfast, dime sexes and bench stretches. So many years of depression make me vision the better living. Type of place to raise kids in. Opening eyes to the lies. History's told foul, but I'm as wise as the old owl. Plus the gold child, seeing things like I was controlling. Click rolling, tricking 6 digits on kicks and still holding. Trips to Paris, I civilized every savage. Give me one shot, I turn tripe life to lavish. Political prisoner, set free, stress free. No work release, purple M3s and jet skis. Feel the wind breeze in West Indies. I think Coretta Scott King, mayor of the cities, and reverse fiends to Willies. It sound foul, but every girl I meet to go downtown. I'd open every cell in Attica, send them to Africa.
if I rule the world,
Imagine that.
I free all my sons. Black diamonds and pearls.
Could it be, if you could be mine, we both shine.
If I rule the world,
Still living for today, in these last
and
days
then
of time.
we'll walk right up to the sun, hand in hand. We'll walk right up to the sun, we won't land. We'll walk right up to the sun, hand in hand. We'll walk right up to the sun, we won't land.
You love to hear the story, how the thugs live and worry. Duck down in car seats, heat's mandatory. Running from Jake, getting chased.
Hey, we are back here at the Lonestar Sports Show right here. All things sports, all things Texas. Today's show is brought to you by FastModelSports.com. Located right there in Chicago, Illinois, on Michigan Avenue, where it all starts, where it leading us into the 21st century through the vehicle technology. Basketball has never been the same. But right now, we hot as we got started on our Region 14 discussion in the earlier segment, where we're blessed to have a guest today, head coach at Paris Junior College, Bobby Taylor. Coach Taylor, you there on the line with us? Can you hear us? You good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh man, it's not a goes without out saying. That's our Michigan connection.
What's up, BT?
T-Hawk.
What's up, Stu?
Call the three amigos, Coach. You got Bobby Taylor, you got Milton Barnes, and T. Harvey.
Oh yeah.
Three amigos. Yeah. Michigan.
Hey, don't forget about my boy Chuck T down there.
It makes 5 then because we got my other guy though. He's sitting over at the Rockets.
Come on.
Yeah,
Give me a name. Come
us
on, man.
Michiganders, man, we
Give me
love it
somebody
down.
name.
We love it down here. In Texas,
I mean,
man.
with the Mavericks. What's the Mavericks assistant's name that we were standing there talking with that day?
Oh, you
Got a son.
Oh, you talking about
Give me a name, man. Give me a name.
wait, you the one you talking about my man that used to be over there with the Nuggets. Used to be over there with Denver Nuggets.
Melvin Hunt.
Melvin Hunt with Baylor. Yeah.
Melvin Hunt is a Michigan guy too, right, Bobby?
Yeah, that is correct.
We got
That is
5 of them
correct.
down here. Well, you guys get down here. I get away from that cold weather. They have a hard time going back. T. Harvey complaining every day.
They following basketball. Coach.
Yeah,
They following.
we love this Texas weather down here. Man. We love it.
They following that good basketball too now.
Hey, Coach T, you what Snoop John say?
Yeah.
He say y'all following good basketball.
They following good
So
basketball.
you got to leave Michigan and come down to Texas and get you some good basketball.
No. He say that Michigan they still got some up there. This just where it's at.
Oh, yeah. It's high level up
That's where it's
there.
at right there, Coach.
He taking a shot at you there.
I ain't taking no shot at me.
I hope I don't go outside of my line with all due respect. Bobby T, he trying to hit you a little bit.
I can't take no shot at Bob. Remember I said the top and the bottom?
In the top.
See,
in the top.
See,
group.
but I don't call y'all. I mean, no disrespect to y'all league. I don't call it the North and the South. I call it the top and the bottom. You know. See, I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, you got the you got the East Division. Look at the East Division. Even the last place team in the East Division right now would be almost a game out of first place in the South, Coach. So it's the top and the bottom.
Coach, you got your shoe gonna be hot. Shoe, listen to this kind of stuff. Shoe.
Oh yeah, he's supposed to.
That's a really good. There's some really good coaches, some really good programs.
Yeah, we got Mark. We got our boy Marcus down there.
Well, people go hot and cold.
North is on the uptick this year, but South's got some good players and some good coaches down there, man.
Hey man, and you know how Kyle McNary is.
Marcus got all his
Kyle
players.
McNary.
All the Marcus players.
What's Snoop trying to say?
All Marcus players over there in the SEC. He gotta go get some more. He gotta go get some more.
He messed up. He didn't restock. Huh?
He didn't restock up.
He didn't look at that. He didn't look at that junior college contract 2 years.
No. You gotta realize when I send one over there, they gotta send me one back over there. If I send one over there, you send me one back.
You gotta replace them, Coach.
You gotta replace them.
That's like a checking account,
Coach, when you're replacing kids that's in the SEC, Big 12, and all that, you're replacing great players. You ain't replacing numbers. You're replacing great players. You know, because they not taking them if they ain't pretty doggone good.
Well, it's a lot of ways to win at all this stuff, and talent is definitely one of the main components. But we got one of the biggest chefs in the country right now, right there in Region 14, and one of the biggest crock pots in the country right now.
That's right.
Is in Region 14. They used to call it East Texas Junior College Basketball in the old days.
I bet you, Bobby. I bet you 10-2 right now, 20-2 on the season. I bet you recruiting just as hard as you getting ready for the next game.
Well, I'm not recruiting at all. This league is a bear, man. So
you just don't have time for it.
It's got every opponent has got our full attention.
All right, now.
So we're kind of slow playing our recruiting right now. We're just kind of taking it easy and focusing on, trying to win as many games as we can.
All right, now don't get caught up in the South next year.
Or the bottom. We're not even calling the South.
We ain't call it the East and the South. We call it the top and the bottom. Right now, you in the top division. You ain't in the bottom. You ain't in the bottom division.
Coach, that's why you're on the Lonestar Sports Show. We deal with top guys, Coach.
You ain't in the bottom division.
When we bring you on here, you're a top guy.
Yeah.
Next segment, we got R.J. Hampton. He's a top guy.
Yeah, he's a top guy.
Yeah, Bobby Taylor's a top guy.
I mean, there's no offense.
It's a top guy network.
There's no offense to these guys, Coach. But Coach, we can't bring them on the show, Coach.
It ain't good for ratings when you bring the bottom guy on.
They just say it's good for ratings right now.
People don't want to listen when you bring the bottom guy on. I'm just gonna let you be upset. It's nothing personal about it. I love Shooter Death and all those guys, but everybody want to hear. They want to hear.
Coach, I just saw that picture just rolled across the screen right there with Bobby and them a few minutes ago. Is that must have been Bobby? That must have been y'all staff day pictures that y'all were taking for y'all website or something like that.
Oh, that green on the shirt.
Yeah, I need an action shot of Bobby walking through the lunch.
You don't need no action shot of Bobby.
Walking through the lunch line.
Trust me. Yeah, you get. Hey, I heard about. Let me tell you how crazy this world of basketball. It's Basketball Thursday right on the Lonestar Sports Network. Tony Stubblefield and I had driven over to watch Panola and Trinity Valley.
Right.
So we were coming back and referee passed by us. He was speeding, going on. So we all
trying to come back and make some more money.
Yeah. So we all get up there. Everybody got some gas. I don't care how fast you drive. So let's go stop put some gas in it. So we all stop at the convenience store and we run into Grady Dale, boy. And Grady Dale just had the double overtime. Paris and Trinity Valley in the cracker box over there.
Grady gonna tell you about it too.
Oh, play by play.
Yeah, he gonna
boy,
tell
you
you
should have
about
seen Bobby, man. Bobby wearing me out tonight, man. I had to keep him.
Yeah. Hey, Grady was the only guy I could talk to that night. The other two guys wouldn't have a conversation with me.
No. Grady gonna. One thing about Grady gonna be consistent. He gonna be consistent with letting you talk to him.
Yeah, no, he's one of the best officials in our conference. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I always know what I'm gonna get when Grady shows up. We're gonna get a good fair whistle.
Boy, hey, have Grady ever hit you with that move when it's a timeout where the action is going and you screaming at him and yelling at him or whatever, and he tell you to hold on. Then when they get ready to shoot a free throw, he go to that score table and get him to foul who it's on, 2-shot foul, and then he folds his arm and he bag up to you. He don't even look at you. He bag up to you and he tell you. He tell you, say, talk to me now, BT. Talk to me. Talk to me now. Talk to me now.
He knows.
Don't yell at me.
As vintage Grady.
Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Talk to me. Talk to me now. Talk to me now.
That's G.
Oh, man.
He's one of the best in the business, man. He's one of the best in the business.
Hey, Bobby, if it was somebody that hadn't seen your program and hadn't seen your team this year and they wanted to paint a picture of the Paris Dragons, boy, I had my shirt too, boy. I left my shirt.
You got a Paris Dragons shirt, I seen it.
No, not my jacket, the long sleeve shirt. Yeah, I had my long sleeve shirt. That was back when Star was over there and they went to the national championship.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had it in the garage and I left it hanging up, trying to rush out to bring it over. Put my shirt on.
We're trying to get it done.
But talk to people that hadn't seen your program, that if they getting ready to come, they know what they're looking for. Talk to us about your program and your team this year.
Well, I mean, I got a bunch of dudes that they just fight, man. That's what our program is built on, that the toughness. We're gonna do our best to guard you hard for 40 minutes, and then on offense we're gonna go and I like to use the term have fun because I like to keep the game open. I don't want to coach every possession. I've got 4 really, really good guards, so I really try and let them play and have some freedom on the offensive end. And we try and shoot as many threes as possible and just kind of play downhill and drive and kick and get up and down. And, if nothing else, we're going to be entertaining. That's for sure.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the way the game's played. When they put that 3-point line down there, that changed the complete complexion of the game.
Somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose, but at least you entertained.
Yeah,
we got to come in and entertain, Coach. That's our job.
Well,
people are paying to come in the game. You realize that, don't you?
Absolutely.
They're not coming. They're paying to come in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm saying if we lose, at least they had fun and it was entertained. The concession stand was open. Everything was available.
Hey, I think we might have the best popcorn in East Texas too.
That's important.
I gotta check that
you
out.
got to have some nachos and Frito pie with some jalapenos sitting over there, and when you go to the snack bar, all your soda dispensers need to work. All the flavors need to work. The worst thing people can do is go to a game and come to there and want a Dr. Pepper, some M&Ms, and popcorn, and the Dr. Pepper is wrong. That
right.
Yeah. Well, we got some parents that listen. We got summer coaches that listen here, and people that they know about the legacy of Paris Junior College because Paris Junior College has done a lot for the Texas community as a whole, from all the way down to Houston, all the way up to North Texas, in the Dallas area. Snoop Johnson had plenty of kids that play at Paris Junior College.
Yeah,
Paris ain't never went cold. See, some of these programs go hot and cold with the change of coaches.
Right,
Paris has been good.
Yeah. Well, they've all. I mean, if you go look at the history of it, they've never hired a coach at Paris Junior College that wasn't legitimately ingrained,
connected with that program,
into the community.
Into the community, okay.
Right. Because when you look at a guy like Coach Taylor, never dreamed of Coach Taylor being the head coach at Paris Junior College, and Coach Taylor was a regular Texas grassroots basketball guy, and he had a non-basketball connection with my sister, who was a what do they call it in commerce, the Gold Jacket Club or whatever, the board or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember alumnus over there, and he was working there, so they always had a Texas A&M commerce conversation that had nothing to do with basketball when they would talk. So that's one of the things that Coach Taylor has done a tremendous job of doing is when they picked him to succeed Bilal Badley, another ingrained person in our community. They picked somebody that just, took the ball and run. There wasn't any, hey, I need to go and meet this guy. I need to meet. A lot of times you bring new staffs in. They're trying to meet everybody. Bobby Taylor didn't have to meet anybody.
Right.
He hit the ground running.
That's it.
And the kind of energy he brings. And we're going to get ready to go to break here. When we come back, I want to tell the community a little bit more about who you are and your route, and why we know you so well, and where you come from, and what all that you've done. So we'll be back at.
Let's talk a little bit about his big matchup this weekend as well.
Yep.
That might bring some more people out there. Might want to drive out for the game.
Yep. Well, okay. We got a matchup coming up this weekend too,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna visit about that. But we'll be back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. This particular segment is brought to you by Fast Model Sports product Fast Recruit. Go take a look at fastmodelsports.com and look at the variety of recruits and see how Fast Model Sports are leading us into the 21st century through the vehicle of technology.
They say I'm crazy, I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but I don't give a damn. Getting girls is how I live. Some ask me questions, why am I so real? But they don't understand me, or really don't know the deal about my brother. Trying hard to make it right. Not long ago, before I win this fight, everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Why don't they just let me live? Tell me why. I don't need permission, make my own decisions. That's my prerogative. It's my prerogative. It's the way that I wanna live. It's my prerogative. I can do just what I feel. It's my prerogative. No one can tell me what to do. It's my prerogative. 'Cause what I'm doing for you now. Don't get me wrong, I'm really not suit. Ego trips is not my thing. All these strange relationships really gets me down. I see nothing wrong with spreading myself around. Everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Why don't they just let me live? Tell me why. I don't need permission. I don't need my own decision. That's my prerogative. It's my
Back here, hitting around about the third segment of the Lone Star Sports Show right here in North Texas. All things sports, all things Texas. We've got one of the finest junior college leagues in the country being represented by Paris Junior College head coach Bobby Taylor. He's going to spend about 5 or 6 more minutes with us before we start moving on into some more things in Region 14. But right now we're going to get the Paris Dragon version perspective. They up at the top looking down, Coach.
Coach, when we came back off commercial, I look like one of Bobby Brown background dancers, didn't I?
Is that right?
I got my black jacket on like that. You know, black Under Armour jacket and everything. I look like one of the Bobby Brown background dancers.
Coach Taylor, you got how many guys you got on your team? 11. You got 11, 12.
We got 13 guys.
You got 13 guys, but you got one guy that's different, huh? One guy that's special. One guy a little different from the rest of the group.
You got one guy that carries the team, huh?
You got one guy that think he'll start.
Yeah.
You got some talent. You got some talent. You know, like that kid the kid
20 and 2, Coach. He 20 and 2, Coach. He got more than one.
He got a young kid over there that's from where's that kid from? Chicago or the freshman?
You talking about the guard, the freshman?
Yeah, is he from Michigan?
He's from Michigan.
He's from Michigan. Talented is all outdoors.
Yeah.
But he's still about 7th man right now, though, in the rotation.
That's all right.
He's going to come around, though. Yeah.
He done enough for you to know that he's talented. How about that?
But tell us how you got to Texas before you had to get ready and go and do to your next duty.
Well, I was coaching high school ball up in Michigan, and Coach Foy, longtime coach here at Paris, needed an assistant, and just kind of word of mouth got down here, and you know, been back and forth ever since. That was mid-'90s. And one of the first, I got to give a shout out to my man Snoop. One of the first guys that I met when I got down here was Snoop. He was over at Kimball, and called him up, and he invited me into the gym, welcomed me with open arms. Remember that, Snoop? You helped. I recruited Terrence Andrews.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Bob.
Yep.
I mean, these guys right here. They don't know how. They just don't know how far I go back.
Let Bobby tell his story.
Yeah,
I mean,
Snoop.
Bobby showing love. He showed love. You don't like showing love.
The very first guy that I got to know when I got down here, and Coach Wright over at Dallas Carter was over there. He opened his door up to me, and you know, those relationships have been solid ever since.
And that's the deal. So you came to Trinity Valley as an assistant there, stayed there for 1, 2, 3 years with Coach Foy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I was here for 2 years and went back to Michigan.
Okay.
Coached Division II ball for a couple of years, and then I was down at A&M Corpus Christi with Coach Arrow, Ronnie Arrow.
Yeah.
Which was an invaluable experience. You know, that experience right there really prepared me for this right here.
But you know what though, Bob?
The great Ronnie Arrow.
Ronnie Arrow. Extremely well. You know, with Chuck and Sean Woods and Adam Walsh. And that's the strangest thing. I can't connect us down there, Coach. Were y'all still independent? What year did you get down there with them?
I got there in 2000. I was with Coach Arrow when we first started the program down there at A&M Corpus Christi.
Yeah. Okay. So when we were coming there, and we started that team camp, and we used to come down when we started pizza and beer parties at Ronnie's place on the patio right there.
Yep.
Do you recall that, me being there?
I do. I was like I said, I was with Coach when we first started that thing up down there.
Keith White and I used to go every year.
Alan Branch wasn't a big name back then. He was over there sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
He was sitting in the corner looking around the room trying to see who all in it.
Our guy Juice Williams used to bring his Gulf Shores team down every year. Yeah.
Right. That's exactly right. When we first started, it was team camp.
How many kids you take down there?
Yep, team camp. That was our team camp.
You took about two
We took
Carlos?
two Carlos. We had no van or nothing. No, we had a parent. We had two parents. I had the stud with me. Let the parents bring the rest of them.
That's why you where you are right now. That's why you where you are right now. Take the boy back, but you kept the stud with you.
Hey, no doubt about that one. That's for sure. But yeah, that's funny, man. I had a lapse and I'm starting to recall, but everything you're talking about is exactly the way it was lined up, exactly the way it went in those days. So you know, it's really, really, really clear that that experience that you got with Ronnie Arrow. Remember, we used to have the eligibility seminar deals in the classroom there. And so you stayed down there with Ronnie until Sean Woods
I was there
came.
with Ronnie for 2 years. I was there for 2 years, and then I moved to Kansas City, and started my own summer program. Did that for 4 or 5 years.
Really? What was the name of that program? I'm trying to place that group.
It was Kansas City Elite.
Okay.
Kansas City Elite. We were non-shoe sponsor. We were just basically,
back then we were.
I had supported the parents, and we just grind. We got out on the circuit, and I basically had one class of kids. I started them when they were 9th graders and took them all the way to their senior year, and then I kind of got back into the college game. So we used to come to Kansas City and go to that Tom Tees deal. Is that correct? Yep. That's right. Tom Tees. Yep. I kind of vaguely remember that a little bit too. And then from there you came to Texas A&M Commerce. Well, I spent a couple years doing arena football. Oh, really? Wow. I did arena football for a few years, and then I came to Commerce. Then I was at Commerce for 4.5 years before I got the job here at Paris. Okay, it was great track record. You know, a lot of people don't realize, and it's about time for you to take off and get to your next group you got there. And I'll say this real quick is, what you hear in Bobby Taylor is diversity in a guy that has developed one of the biggest qualities, most important qualities, is that he knows how to deal with people. And And that's what coaching is about, because of the diversity in the background. And Chris Walker always says it.
You know, a college coach that hadn't had a grassroots coaching experience just doesn't really get it.
Well, that's the kind of guys. That's the guys you want to help. See, the one thing about it, you know, once a guy like BT come down and do the work and show, all you looking to see if he really interested in the kid. Yeah. That's all you looking for.
Right.
I mean, you know what you're getting. I mean, you know. I mean, you know what you're getting in Paris. You know what you're getting with him. I mean, he understands who you are and what you're looking for your kid. I mean, so I mean, it makes it easy. You know, I mean, I'm not fooling with everybody.
Yeah, well, man, right here at the Lone Star Sports Network and Lone Star Sports Show, from Snoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Under Your Money, Lady Life, we're proud and excited for what's going on with the Paris Dragons under the leadership of Bobby Taylor. It's huge. Go ahead and finish out the season. I definitely will be there for that Wednesday, and we've got our next guy. I don't know if you know Brian, who has been coming over and covering that. He'll be coming on and talking some more about what's going on in Region 14, but he's in a lot of your practices. He's coached in the league and has seen your team play a couple of times, and so we're going to be talking more. So we're full support of what you're doing, man. Let us know what we can do to help. We're here for
Appreciate
you.
it.
And we're going to keep on working at it.
Tell you guys, don't fall off now, because tell them Snoop got to call it like I got to call it like I see it now.
We're going to try to hold on, Snoop. We're going to try to hold on, man. This league is hard, though, man.
Hey, if you was 2-10, ain't no need to texting us talking about, hey, man, when you going to get us on the show? you my man. I have to shout you out while we talking to somebody else on the phone. I had to share with him that, hey, you know my man Bobby over there in Paris now. He going to get his program back where it is. But since you at the top, we got you on the show. Yeah. You know, we let you tell them about it.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Man, we have a lot of fun on here, man. But, you know, it's all about, you know, pushing your program and doing the things, and we continue to support and all the great things that you're doing. And I have a lot of good friends over there, you know. And, you know, one of the things I just really appreciate, I take a quick second, is that, you know, the guys have been around for a while. They respect the relationships. And I've always appreciated the guys. 14 teams over there, but there are about 8 guys over there that understand, hey, Bobby T and Branch are cool. Mike Walker, that's his golfing buddy. Yeah. You know, Kilgore guy. I mean, guys,
they're supposed to know it. They're supposed to know that.
You know, that's the same way it is with my Division I guys. You know, nobody's losing their mind because I got a relationship with Will Wade, you know, and Bill Self, you know, or Shaka.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, it's all about somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. But you guys are having quality programs and quality experiences and winning type atmospheres that are developing kids. That's what we're supporting, Coach Taylor. Yeah. So we want to keep on staying right there with you.
Well, our recruiting motto is simple, man. We just go out and try to find kids that got great character, that's got a passion for the game, got a passion for wanting to get better, got a passion for wanting to get a degree, and we coach them as hard as we can. We love on them. We tell them we love them. And, you know, we do everything we can to put them in position to get to the next level. You know, that's what this thing is about. And if we can win some games along the way, so be it.
I need to put Bobby on the spot right now. Mm-hmm. Bobby, make sure you mark on your calendar next year on the kickoff at the Lone Star JUCO. I need the whole show. I don't need you 2 games here, 2 games over there. I need you at Bob Knight the whole time. Can we lock you in? Can we lock you in?
You got it.
You got it, man. If we if we gonna showcase you to the Metroplex and tell them this, that, they need to be able to see. They need to be able to see you.
Absolutely.
You got to realize the kids don't get out of school at 3:30, so they got to see you that night, that evening too.
You're right.
They ain't driving. They ain't driving way up there.
We'll be over there.
Hey,
we'll be over there.
If we don't have enough competition for you, then you can tell them, hey, you ain't got enough for me. Yeah.
Well, I know that's not gonna be the case, Snoop. I know it's gonna be.
When I can tell them that we got Paris Junior College and Bobby Taylor.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, that make them come out the woodworks, come get some.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
We're gonna make sure you got something to get some with, Coach.
Hey, man, well, good luck, Bobby. Good luck on the rest of the season. We pulling for you, man.
I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
All right, take care. Talk about it.
All right, take care.
Hey, here we are back here. Bobby Taylor. There you just heard the whole story. Paris Junior College, man. Just when you stop and look at the guys that have coached there and had the level of success.
Let me ask you something, Coach, before you go on the commercial. When he got off the phone, why did you say, here we go, like we was off the line? Why did you say, here we go back here?
Yeah, we rolled off out of the end. We transitioned out of the interview. Okay. We waste a lot of time
With nonsense?
With nonsense.
Okay.
You're right.
That's what I'm trying to tell with you. That's what I'm trying to let you kill some of the stuff that you ain't got to do.
Hey, we're transitioning people. You got to realize.
I'm not going to say it no more. I'm not going to say it no more. I just wanted you to.
Snoop is like one of them little bad kids in class. I ain't going to do it no more.
I ain't going to do it no more. Yeah, I ain't going to do it no more.
Like over at the Sweat Hog. He tell him all the time. I see him, you tell him all the time. We ain't going to do it no more. He do it every time.
No, every time.
Back with more Lone Star Sports Show on 182nd. We come back. We'll have more Region 14 basketball right here on Basketball Thursday. We'll get a full report from our Texas Boys Basketball Region 14 editor of what's going on and what you can see and what's going up this weekend. And then we'll get more Basketball Thursday when we come back in with all the things that are going on in high school basketball. The last hour of the show will be dedicated to high school basketball.
And we got the number 2 player. We got the number 2 player in the country, class of 2020. That's ESPN, right. R.J. Hampton, he's coming.
That's right. Back in 140 seconds.
Bridge Basketball Skills Academy begins your road to success with our foundation classes. These classes were created for the beginning basketball player who needs fundamental training rather than game training. These classes provide a progressive mastery of skills that are unique in our industry. We focus on creating a strong foundation by learning technique rather than just focusing on dribbling, passing, or shooting. Our unique combination of a skills matrix within a creative learning environment allows our trainees to learn skills faster than if they just practiced general concepts of the game. It's not what we teach, it's how we teach it that makes the difference. Classes start at $30 for ages 7 and up. Sign up today when we get back on the line, or find more information online at bridgebasketballacademy.com.
Drop top Porsche, rollie on my wrist, diamonds up and down my chain. Cardi B straight stunning, can't tell me nothing. Bossed up and I changed the game. It's my big bronze boogie got all them girls shook. My big fat ass got all them boys cooked. We're from dollar bills, now we poppin' rubber bands. Bruno sang to me while I do my money dance like, hey. Flexing on the gram like, hey. Hit the Lil Jon, okay. Oh yeah, we drippin' the finesse and getting paid.
Ooh, don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night long. Yeah, I know we'll turn heads forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you off. When I'm walking with you, I watch the whole room change. Baby, that's what you do. No, baby, don't play. Blame it on my confidence, or blame it on your measurements. Shut the shit down on sight. That's right. We out here tripping with finesse. It don't make no sense. Out here tripping in finesse. You know it, you know. We out here tripping in finesse. It don't make no sense. Out here tripping in finesse. You know it, you know it.
Hey, back here at the Lone Star Sports Show. All things sports, all things Texas. We get it in, Coach.
Can we keep that playing in the background a little bit? That's number 1 song in the country right there, Coach.
It's number 1 song in the country
I
right
don't know.
now.
To me it is.
It's number 1 song in the country.
That's going to hit number 1, ain't it? That's going to hit number 1
That
right
might not
there.
even be a new song. Is that a new song?
That's a new song. Cardi B and
Cardi B done stole something from somebody else. I know that song.
What's my man name?
Cardi B didn't make
Bruno
that all
Mars.
about it.
Bruno Mars and Cardi B.
That's what it sounds like, Bruno Mars to me. It sound like one of Bruno Mars.
Brian, this Snoop. What you think about that new song with Cardi B and Bruno Mars?
Hey, Bruno, that dude, and Cardi B, the hottest thing got.
I'm telling you.
That's a nice little cut, right? Bruno got all the Grammys. Man, that boy got, him and Cardi B got to shut down.
But you know what Cardi B need right now, though? I'm going to be 100. I know we're going to talk about JUCO right quick.
I want to know.
But this is what Cardi B, because that's my girl. That's my girl. But what Cardi B really need right now, she needs somebody like Puffy or Jay-Z to come in and manage her, Beyonce or somebody like that right now, because she not going to last long just being hot.
No, because she going to be.
All that, just running around letting the Migos and all that. The Migos and all that. See, somebody managing the Migos.
Oh, yeah, that's why they
the Migos ain't running around with the warm-ups and everything no more. They putting on, got them slacks and everything. They crossed over.
You say we got clean.
Coach, I'm telling you, this song right here can take Cardi B. It can take over the hump pass. Coach, she can
make sure, Lady Life, when we close back out of this segment, I want to hear it again.
Yeah, she can
do it again.
But I'm saying Cardi B can.
I like Cardi B.
She can really go catch.
Bruno Mars too.
But a song like this, Cardi B can really.
This is an opportunity to cross the bridge.
She can go catch up.
This is what I need. Now I'm going to jump in and play Snoop Johnson now. What does the bottom league, the South League, need to do so they can cross over?
No, don't call them the South. Call them what they are.
The bottom league.
The bottom division. Okay.
The bottom division.
Tell us about the bottom division over there, Brian.
Brian Mike can't tell us about the bottom division. I don't even go down there and watch the bottom division.
He didn't watch them all.
Hey, Coach know I done seen everybody in the South except Jacksonville. So I got a good feel on it, Coach. So I think like I told y'all the last week, I think it's gonna come down to Angelina and Blenn's gonna be fighting for that top spot for that bye. And those guys had a barn burner last night. Angelina pulled it out by 1. But the league is, like I said, they're gonna beat up on each other. Like Branch said the other day when we was at Trinity Valley, somebody got to win. But those are the 2 strongest teams up there. San Jack, those other guys, it's just kind of gonna be middle of the pack. But I'm projecting Angelina and Blenn to come out of there and be strong when they come again that second time for the North in the tournament. That's what I'm saying right now, Coach.
And I'm going to be honest. I haven't done a great job of watching the as Snoop Johnson called them, the bottom division.
I'm saying,
what is the glaring difference?
I'm saying that's what I'm trying to find out. How can we call? You hit it perfect, Brian. When you said somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. But how can we have the audacity to call somebody the winners of the division or the top team? How do you call them the top?
We ain't got nobody got 500 on it.
It ain't the top nothing.
When they break that thing down north, when you do the cross league, it's horrible. When you go down and break it down, when I talked to the assistant as Angelina, he said, man, we at the beginning of the South play, he said we sitting at 2 and 3 and 5, and we at the top of the league right now, the South.
Yeah.
And so, them guys, they all got hope down there. Yeah. Because they know when we get the March, Coach, they come out there with a 500 record. They can upset anybody in the North.
Well, guess what?
You like you want to know UIL. You get to the playoffs.
I know.
Everybody don't get that.
I understand. You tell them this. You make sure you tell them this because eventually somebody's going to tell them and they're going to start listening to the show. So guess what? You make sure you tell them that Snoop said that if they go in there and upset one of them teams in the top division in the first round, the second round game, I'm going to be sitting right there on the front row with a T-shirt on. I'm gonna have an Angelina T-shirt on, a Blinn T-shirt on, a Jacksonville T-shirt, or a Coastal Bend. I'm naming.
Y'all got it right there on the air. Y'all heard it.
Wait a minute. San Jack, Lamar State, and Lee College. Guess what? All of them got in common. None of them played in the Lonestar JUCO last year.
That's a great point.
I'm telling you.
That's a great point.
Now go up to the North. Go up to the top division.
Yeah, we get Kilgore, Paris.
Oh, yeah, it's thick up there, Coach.
Tyler, Navarro.
Kilgore wish they can be. Kilgore wish they can be in that division.
Cause they're like the Big 12 SEC up there. Cause everybody even, like I said, I really like what Bobby T's doing at Paris. Guy has Trinity Valley rocking and rolling, and Mike got TJC rocking.
Okay, hold on.
You gotta watch out.
Hold on, Brian.
You gotta watch out for your Kilgore.
We got to get the good and the bad. Brian, hold on. We got to get the good and the bad. Now you just told us that the top division is like the Big 12 and the SEC. So tell me what the bottom division is like.
Don't follow that trend.
Hold on. What's the bottom division? They still gonna let you use your pass to get in free. Come on.
Oh man, you gonna give me blocked out. Now the South coaches. I mean, the South is normally strong. This is about the first year I've seen it. Last year,
there you go.
Hey, you did a good job. Hey, you did a good job working it out. You did a good job working it out for them.
Well, okay, let's take about 2 minutes.
I'm trying to motivate these teams, Coach. I'm trying to motivate them.
All this is in the interest of time, and time is always a big deal here when we start breaking this thing down. What people need to see and understand, and maybe even Snoop Johnson, but I know our fans and people, listeners that are not necessarily super familiar with how this thing goes. We'll be going to a conference tournament March the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I believe. That's correct.
Yeah.
Actually, that Wednesday will start, whatever that Wednesday is.
Yeah, so that first Wednesday. Yes,
and this year is going to be in Jacksonville, at the old Lonestar College. Is that what we're going back to?
Yes, sir. We're going back over there. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's going to help somebody. Yeah. Lamar Morris is close to Jacksonville, isn't it?
Yeah, it's close.
Jacksonville might upset somebody.
About 3 or 4 blocks away.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, home court advantage.
Jacksonville might upset somebody.
Walk down there, Coach. But now this deal is structured. You in the league, and I've covered the league. So either you lead and I'll back you up, or I lead and you make sure I don't make a mistake. Both the top 2 teams in what Snoop Johnson calls the East, North, or top division, the top 2 teams there are going to get a bye, right?
Yes, sir.
Even though the bottom division is in the bottom division, the top 2 teams down there are going to get a bye in the tournament, right?
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I just want Snoop Johnson to understand how.
Lord have mercy.
So they go, if we're losing record, Coach, they're gonna just go over there and get a bye.
It's all about the seeding, Coach. So you know,
I guess.
They gonna go over there. So
it's 0-0 when you get to the conference tournament.
So they're gonna be 1. Yeah,
that division might be that bottom division might be just tougher than I think it is. They just might be beating up on each other because if you look at the Big 12, some of them guys in second and third place got some losses too.
Yep.
Yeah, and what happened is, Coach, is the North. If you look at, we got 2 top ranked, almost 3 JUCO ranked teams. Paris, I don't know if they broke in, but they worthy of it. Trinity Valley ranked and Tyler's ranked.
Yeah,
so and we're talking about in the country now. He's talking about in the country.
Yeah, we're talking about in the country now, Coach.
Country.
So when you cross play against a real top division this year, which is the North, hands down, and last year, like I said, was the South. The record's gonna be tricky, but you're gonna see the play get a little bit better in that South, and you'll see some more. A little bit above 500 record.
Talking about the bottom division, the bottom division, not the South, the bottom division.
Hey, Coach, when I see these coaches, I'm gonna tell them they got to go to the Lonestar JUCO deal, Coach, so we can get all this.
Hey, I need you to email
Jacksonville's
me.
been there for. Until Jacksonville learn what happened to you when you don't.
I need you to email me some rosters because I'm looking at these teams right there. It ain't a whole lot of kids out of Dallas at these teams either in the bottom division either.
No.
I think Jazzy big kid might be down there at San Jack.
Yeah, San Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, San Jack. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell Jazzy we got to get that kid out of there, man.
Yeah, he's out of there after this.
He leaving anyway. That's right.
He left Arizona State and went by there.
They gonna go further down, ain't they?
Yeah. Well, no, this is last season anyway. They out.
Oh,
San
Jack closing down.
Oh, that's why San Jack is down there like that. San Jack, no, they out the door anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they programmed down anyway.
Well, I actually did learn exactly how they're going to do that too, and I'll share it with you.
Everybody just picking up the last few checks.
What's going on? So they're going to put those teams up there, and then your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th teams will all play each other on that Wednesday. That's when we always go there and watch those 4 games in a row. Isn't that correct?
Yep, that's correct, Coach.
Right, that'll be a mixture. Now, that will be a mixture of South teams. That could actually end up being 6 of those teams. So only 2 of the other teams could be from the bottom division.
Yep, exactly, Coach.
It's going to be kind of interesting now.
It's going to be tricky, I'm telling you.
That's real. It's gonna be real tricky.
It ain't gonna be tricky. It's right there in front of you. What's tricky about that? Y'all see the numbers. Y'all see the numbers. Those are gonna be the teams in. Huh?
If you watch Angelina and Blinn, I'm telling you, they got the talent enough to beat some North teams if they had to play them 2 or 3 times. Them 2 teams are solid right there. Everybody else, I don't know. I gotta watch them more. But I know them 2 can be contenders.
Hey, Brian, let me tell you something. Do you think?
So right now, Lamar State and Lee Junior College won't be in the tournament.
Go.
If it was over with now.
Let me help you out with something.
Let
me help you out with something. When somebody say, let me tell you something, that means I'm finna get ready to talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what that means I'm finna say something.
You never.
I know when you get to looking at something real hard, you want to say something. So I know how to feed off of you real good. But like I was saying, Brian, let me tell you this. Going back to what you said, those guys believe that they can be there. Coach, you got to think to yourself, do you think Mark Cuban and Rick Carlisle, them guys, they think they can beat some of these guys too, don't you? They not going to practice for nothing. They think that they can, Coach, they think they can beat these guys.
But Snoop, you got to check this out, Snoop. The separation of the top is really the only teams that are separated from the pack is Trinity Valley, Tyler, and Paris. If you look at the standings, Bossier got 7, Navarro got 6 wins, Panola, Angelina, Blinn. They all neck and neck, and Jack. They all really neck and neck, Coach. If you look at it today,
okay.
So it's gonna be tricky, like Brand said. When these things feed out, we gonna take Trinity Valley, Tyler.
Right now, if it was over with today, it would be tricky for Lamar State and Lee because they go ahead and let the air out the ball and watch the uniform.
I think them guys gonna get their bye.
Take up the equipment.
They gonna get their bye when you looking at that next round. When you put it like this, when these guys go to the 3rd round, I don't see a team at the bottom still in the tournament.
Nah, I could agree with that.
They gonna get that bye.
Thin it out, huh?
They gonna lose, Coach.
Hey,
look at the record over there, Coach. Yeah.
We start looking at 7-15.
Yeah,
8,
don't just
13,
look over here. Yeah, they not just losing just now. They've been losing.
Yeah. Hey, we breaking it down here on another segment, the Lone Star Sports Show. This segment is brought to you by Bridge Basketball Academy. We got Brian Crawford, editor, junior college editor, Region 14 editor for TexasBoysBasketball.com. Go look at some of the things he writes. Come listen to him here about once a week and give us a pickup on what's going on. We will be back really taking a good look at what's going to be going on at the big TJC Trinity Valley College game in Tyler Junior College at 4 o'clock. That's a big one, Coach.
Okay.
Where 10-1 and 10-2, Tyler Junior College, both ranked in the top 25 in the country, we're going to collide right to out of the top division.
Let's come back and get that about 7:45.
Talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah,
okay.
Brian, stay around because we got another guest that's
We got to
coming
do
up right
R.J.
now.
Hampton.
Yeah. We got another guest coming up right now. So about 7:45, because I want to hear a little bit more about the Region 14 over there.
Coach like that Region 14.
All right, I'll call back at 7:45.
We'll hit you. You call either one. We're gonna line it back up. Okay. All right. We'll be back with you in 108 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show. We get it in on Basketball Thursday. When we come back, we'll have the number 2 player and the number 1 guard in the 2020 class in the state of Texas, R.J. Hampton out of Little Elm.
Carter B there.
Little Elm, Texas, there at Little Elm High School. Back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show.
It's my big bronze boogie got all them girls shook. My big fat ass got all them boys cook. We're from dollar bills, now we popping rubber bands. Bruno sang to me while I do my money dance like, hey. Flexing on the gram like, hey. Hit that Lil Jon, okay. Oh yeah, we dripping the finesse and getting paid.
Ooh, don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night long. Yeah, I know we'll turn heads forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you off. When I'm walking with you, I watch the whole room change. Baby, that's what you do. No, baby, don't play. Blame it on my confidence, or blame it on your measurements. Shut the shit down on sight. That's right. We out here tripping and finesse. It don't make no sense. Out here tripping and finesse. You know it, you know. We out here tripping and finesse. It don't make no sense. Out here tripping and finesse. You know it, you know it. Now slow it down for me, baby. 'Cause I love the way it feels when we cry. Yeah. Our connection's so magnetic on the floor. Nothing can stop us tonight. When I'm walking with you, I watch the whole room change. Baby, that's what you do. No, baby, don't play. Blame it on my confidence, or blame it on your measurements. Shut the shit down on sight. That's right. We out here tripping and finesse. It don't make no sense. Out here tripping and finesse. You know it, you know. We out here tripping and finesse. It don't make no sense. Out here tripping and finesse. You know it, you know it. Fellas, grab your ladies if your lady fine. Tell her she the one for life. Ladies, grab your fellas and let's do this right. If you own one like me and mine.
Yeah, we got it going on. Don't it feel so good to be us? Yeah, we got it going on. Yeah,
Girl, we got it going on.
we got it going on. Don't it feel so good to be us? Yeah, we got it going on.
We out here tripping and finesse. It don't make no sense.
Hey, here we are back at the Lone Star Sports Show. All things sports, all things Texas. Getting in right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. Today's show is brought to you by FastModelSports.com. Go take a look and see how they're leading basketball into the 21st century through the vehicle of technology. It's the whole deal. I'm gonna tell you about that Carter B cut that y'all like. I like it, but you know, that's some reaching back. Y'all say they're using the same tracks or whatever. It sounds like Bobby Brown, man.
There you go. Everything got to go back with you.
Yeah, go back, Coach.
Everything got to go
Coach,
back.
you can't go back and just go recycle something and just get away with it and not give credit.
Let's enjoy Carter B and Bruno Mars, man. And Bobby Brown is my man. That's my man.
I know that's your own group. That's like the
my
Ice
boy.
MCs.
That's right.
The Ice MCs want to be like that.
Hey,
hey, wait a minute. RJ might know about the Ice MC.
Well,
I mean, not RJ, but Hemp might know about the Ice
let's
MCs.
let's move past all that right there. Let's get to the let's talk to a real superstar right now.
You got the wheel, Coach. That's why we
Right
got him
now,
on the phone,
right now,
superstar.
right now on the Lone Star Sports Show, we got the area's #1 scorer in the area. And I know a lot of people don't like to talk about that right now. The reason I'm saying #1 scorer, because this is his second year being the leading scorer in the area. R.J. Hampton, the #2 player in ESPN.com in America. And we got his dad, his coach, Mr. Rod Hampton, who is a legend in his own right. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening, Snoop?
Oh, man, I can't call it. RJ, you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got to talk up a little bit now. I need to hear Rod Hampton Jr.
we get ready for Stephen A. Smith. That's the next one.
Yeah, I need to hear you out there. I need to hear you out there. Unless you back over there asleep right now. I know you got all that work during the week. You got to get your rest. Got to get your rest in so you can be ready. You know,
might be doing his homework, coach. Mama Hamp over there keep them academics lined up.
I know that's right.
Yeah, she don't play.
Yeah, got to line all that up. Yep.
Yeah.
But RJ, I mean, how do you feel about people in media coming at you? We're not going to sit here and talk about you're a good player, you know, and you're on your way to being a great high school player with a big future in front of you. That's obvious. But with some of the things that come along with, you know, Snoop Johnson and Alan Branch coming here and taking 12 minutes of your time on a Thursday evening and ask you to come in and visit. How does that make you feel on a regular basis, or people pulling at you this way when you are the player that you are?
It feels really good, just for the fact that I feel like I'm putting in the work and I'm doing what I need to be doing, so people are recognizing it. Mm-hmm. So just getting my name out there, and stuff like that, it really makes basketball fun for me. Okay.
So you don't feel you're not an introverted type person. You feel annoyed by Alan Branch at TexasBoysBasketball.com, Snoop Johnson, Snoop Basketball Report, come in and asking you a lot of questions. What do the old guys want? You understand that this is part of what comes with the process. Would you say that would be a good way of talking about it?
Yes, sir, that's a great way of talking about it.
Okay. I'm going to ask you another question. You know, and I don't think we have to talk about. I mean, for our listeners, R.J. Hampton is a 6'5" and growing scoring point guard, #2 in the country, has demonstrated to multiple authorities, being scouting service, college coaches across the country, on track to be a McDonald's All-American, potentially continues to work, could possibly forecast as probably, in Alan Branch's opinion, one of the most transferable talents on any of my recruiting lists to the NBA. I talk to NBA scouts all the time, and everybody has to continue to keep working. Not that the young man doesn't have things to work on, but God has blessed him with the ability to have the opportunity. And go ahead, Coach.
Coach, can I cut in before you say that right now? Mm-hmm. Let's before we move any further, mm-hmm. let's kill the labels. Let's kill the labels.
Well, I was getting ready to kill labels. I was going to go somewhere.
No, I said you said 6'5" scoring point guard. Let's be a 6'5" point guard.
Well, I mean,
they can do everything. He can score. He can assist. He can defend.
The point guard identifies that he can run a team.
No, I'm just saying.
But he's not a guy that can't go get a bucket.
No, I'm saying
he's not a non-late shot clock guy. He's got to get the ball to the late shot clock guy.
You already labeled my man Tom Brady early as a pocket quarterback, pocket passer. I mean, he's a great quarterback. RJ is a great point guard. When you being great, that means you can do more than one thing.
Well, Coach, that's your interpretation and the way you choose to communicate about it. You got company, Coach. You got the children are here tonight.
No, I don't want you to box him in. We ain't gonna box my man in.
When I project you to the NBA, I'm not boxing you in. Okay, that kills that. Is that right, Hemp? If I say that out of all the kids on the list, he has one of the most talented, highest opportunities or potential of being an NBA player. So we're not boxing him in.
No.
Hey, RJ, do you feel boxed in by Alan Branch right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, your Uncle Snoop over here just trying to
tell him the truth.
Trying to show you how much he loves you. That's all. Uncle Snoop.
I mean, that's any player.
Uncle Snoop.
He's a ball player.
Yeah.
He's a ball player.
I didn't say he wasn't a ball player. Coach, if he gonna play in the NBA, he got to be a ball player.
You said about Tom Brady earlier. You talking about he's a pocket quarterback.
Now you talking about RJ.
Let's talk about something more important right now. We got some time. We got a lot of things people want to know about RJ right now. But I want to start right here.
I'm gonna ask some really.
Let me start right here because this is really important to me right now. RJ, let's go back to during the end of the summer. You know, you getting ready to go to Mount Verdi, where it was already out. You had already put it on Twitter. I'm gonna read a statement by your head coach, Coach Sigler. He said, "Now that Hampton, meaning RJ, is back," he said, "let's go." He said, "We feel like we can compete with anybody now. We'll be ready for anybody that comes in the district this time." What does that mean? What a statement like that coming from your head coach? Now you're a sophomore. You know, you're a sophomore. Now I know you started a lot of games last year, accomplished a lot of things, but how much confidence does that give you as a player when your head coach? Here's a guy that won over how many games? Coach won over 500 games.
You talking about
Rusty?
Rusty?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rusty's in.
I mean, what does that?
Rusty's in over 400. Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean? No, he won way more than that. What does that mean when a guy like that that's been coaching that long comes to a sophomore and says, "We're ready to go now that he's back"? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It just shows that Coach Segler, he has a lot of trust in me, and he has a lot of trust that I can lead this team to do big things and hopefully get to state. So when he says something like that, it really makes me want to go harder and get my teammates in line and get us all together as a unit. Because at the end of the day, I know not only I'm just a sophomore, but I got to be a leader as if I'm a senior.
Oh, that's good. And I want to ask you another thing because I like to hear people react and respond. I mean, because when we read these articles, we take out of it what we want to take out of it. Now, this is the same article. Now, this is coming from the Frisco Enterprise. And they also came back, they talked to your dad, and he said, RJ looked up to Devin, and there's no doubt in RJ's mind that Devin was the leader last year's team. He said, but the dynamic changes this year. RJ is that guy. It's still going to take a team effort, but to beat Lil Lamb, you must start RJ Hampton. What kind of pressure, or if any pressure, does that comment put on you as a player? Now, this is coming from the guy who put the ball in your hand, the guy that you a lot of people that's just not getting to see you, they know who RJ Hampton is, but a lot of those younger guys didn't know how good your dad was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is, I always compare this a lot with Trey Young and Rayford Young. Rayford Young, Trey had a dad that's been there too. Your dad, where you are right now, he was that guy as a sophomore. He was that same guy. What does a statement like that coming from that guy who put the ball in your hand, how much pressure did it put on you? Did it make you work harder? What does that do for you? What did it do for you?
It really put no pressure on me. It just really made me want to work harder. And like you said, y'all take what y'all want to out of the articles. But when he said something like that, I know that I have to live up to, and I know I put in the work every day to live up to those expectations. So whenever he says something like that, I know that I got to go out there every night and produce and do it, just like he said.
Yeah. Now, Rod, are you there? You still there? Rod
gone.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I want to come back on that same question with your dad. When we get him. Okay. I just asked RJ about an article that you made a comment where you said that RJ looked up to Devin, but now this year he understands that he's that guy, and that if teams want to beat Lil Lamb, they got to stop RJ. When you made that comment, what was your motivation in making that comment? Was it the confidence in the team, or was it to press the button for RJ to set the tone? What was your message in saying that?
Well, my message was saying that is just to take pressure off RJ.
Okay.
Even if Devin wasn't there, mm-hmm. I still know who RJ was. And right. RJ could have led the team to the same record if Devin wasn't there. But again, it's like a fraternity. You got to pay your dues. I'm letting RJ know this is a business. But again, you got to pay your dues. Devin's been there and put in work for 3 years. We're not going to come and discredit that. Right. Devin is a good teammate. He's a good friend. He's a good brother. So, RJ, you show him respect, and all you guys got to do is get together. So that would just take pressure off RJ. You know, I knew who RJ was coming in. I knew what he was going to do. So I just took pressure off RJ by saying that.
Well, the one thing that you guys have done a great job of, I mean, remember last Thursday we was going to talk about that Dallas Morning News article. They wrote an article about teams and the star players at those teams. Just going off what you said, Rod, about last year, you know, RJ being the player that he was, y'all could have went in and created a lot of turmoil amongst that team, but just what you just said, it made it a smooth transition. And you can see that from RJ last year, that RJ wasn't trying to upstage Devin, and Devin was pulling for RJ. RJ, I mean, it was just right there on the paper. Y'all remember seeing that on the news that night where RJ was on the bench and he reached out there to give Devin 5, and I mean, you could just see that on the court. Hey, we got to go to a break. Y'all stay on the line. We got a lot of things. I know Alan Branch is pulling up a lot of questions that he want to ask you, but I wanted to kind of set the tone of this interview with those things off that article. It really intrigued me.
It shares information and breaks things down that we have a clear understanding. Like I say, we appreciate you guys coming on. We're going to take about a 180-second break and visit with a few of our commercial and sponsor people. We'll come back. And when we come back, you know, we're going to look. There are a lot of different people that listen to this show. RJ and your father, Mr. Hampton, there being in place. A lot of people live in the show. A lot of people want to know who RJ really is in the big picture. There's a lot of opportunity that's going to come with a talented young man like him, on and off the court, and opportunities that are going to be there. So I want to do some things and dig into that. But we'll be back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show right here in North Texas, in Oak Cliff, Texas. All things sports, all things Texas. We're getting it in. We got R.J. Hampton, his father, Mr. Hampton, right here on the Lone Star Sports Show. We'll be back in the next segment in 180 seconds with more to hear from that. Right now, take a look in the list in the Bridge Basketball Academy.
Bridge Basketball Skills Academy begins your road to success with our foundation classes. These classes were created for the beginning basketball player who needs fundamental training rather than game training. These classes provide a progressive mastery of skills that are unique in our industry. We focus on creating a strong foundation by learning technique rather than just focusing on dribbling, passing, or shooting. Our unique combination of a skills matrix within a creative learning environment allows our trainees to learn skills faster than if they just practiced general concepts of the game. It's not what we teach, it's how we teach it that makes the difference. Classes start at $30 for ages 7 and up. Sign up today when we get back on the line, or find more information online at bridgebasketballacademy.com.
Twist cabbage off instinct. Just don't think, jits think, pink gators. My Detroit players, Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right, if the head right, Biggie there, air night. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us, screw us. Who us? Yeah, Papa and Pup. Close like Starsky and Hutch, stick to clutch. Yeah, I squeeze 3 at your cherry M3. Bang every MC easily. Recently, frontin' ain't saying nothing, so I just speak my peace. Keep my peace. Cubans with the Jesus peace. With my peace. Packing, asking who want it. You got it, flaunt it. That Brooklyn bull, we on it.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so mean. Biggie, biggie, biggie.
Ooh, that's that Biggie, that Biggie. Look, I got your head going, Coach. I see you bobbing your head. Now tell me who played that right there back in the 60s.
Nobody played that back.
Ain't nobody played that Biggie right there. That's the original track right there from Puffy. All right, I know Biggie got you shaking your head. Let's get back to RJ.
I'm just checking
let's
the
get
track.
back to RJ.
The track right quick.
Yeah.
Make sure that I answered that appropriately.
Yeah, got you shaking right there.
We're back here at the Lone Star Sports Show right now. All things sports, all things Texas. Today's show is brought to you by FastMallSports.com. But that's what it is today. You got Snoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Lady Life, and Honor Your Money giving it to you. All things sports, all things Texas. Right now, we've got father and son, Mr. Hampton, and the number 2 player in the country, top point guard, regardless of class, potentially, arguably, in the state of Texas, R.J. Hampton on the phone. R.J., right before...
Hold on, Cole, before you ask that question. Hold on real quick. one of the
There you go, Hemp. Hemp, I'm holding you responsible because you raised him.
Hold on, look here. But look here, one of the people that's chiming in right there, Stacey Houston, the insider. He said you can't box in a complete player. He ain't talking to me. He got to be talking to you.
I don't know who Stacey talking to.
Stacey, you can't.
Stacey, I see you at the meeting on Saturday morning. Be at the meeting.
They say you can't box in a complete player. So I ain't the only one to say that now.
Hey, I found that you box that in.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Why you boxing stuff in?
Yeah.
Oh boy, but back to all sincerity, RJ, and you know these old guys, they like to have a lot of fun. They ain't got no more eligibility left, so that's all we can do is have fun. But the question I wanted to ask you is that, you know, as a young man, when you look at your career and you see basketball, do you ever think about the fact that you're not going to play basketball forever? Let me ask that question first.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. Like, I'm not going to be able to jump and shoot forever, so I have to do something else.
Yeah. Do you have a dream, or do you have a aspiration, or do you have a area or field of where you see yourself in the last half of your life?
I do. I feel like in like the last half of my life after basketball, I want to do something with like basketball and business.
Okay.
Not necessarily coaching, but just in the business side of basketball. But I really would. I love what like Colin Kaepernick he's doing, and like how he's with the black actors, and I would like to do something like that.
So you're in tune with Colin Kaepernick and with the
yes, sir, everything
that's going on there. So you would say at right now at 15, 16 years old that you have a level of social consciousness. Would that be accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's huge. I mean, and not trying to put you in a box by any means. Do you have any kind of idea or thoughts about what you probably would pursue as a major in the time that you're going to spend in college in a school of higher learning?
Business. I've always wanted to be on the business side of things, so I'd probably major in business.
Right. And at this stage, I mean, you don't have to not lock it into marketing. You don't have to lock it into accounting. You don't have to lock it into administration and many other avenues. If I had to throw any little piece of advice in it, I would mix a little bit of all of those I just said into it to bring about a sense of completeness and understanding of how the operation and how things work. I'm impressed. If there's one person that's in your corner for as long as I'm around, I'll be here to support you on all of the above, and just like I've supported you with your basketball career so forth.
Yes,
and once again, I am impressed, and I'm going to share with anybody that I'm talking to, whether I'm talking to Phil Knight, whether I'm talking to a Fortune 500 CEO, or if I'm talking to Kevin Plank at Under Armour, that's who RJ Hampton is as a complete holistic athlete, student athlete, as an individual. Hamp, how do you think, Mr. Hampton?
Let's go to the break. What he's talking to us about at the break. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Mr. Hampton, how do you see and how do you perceive when you hear that you and Mrs. Hampton, and I don't know if she's around or available, but how would you feel that you all have brought a sense of consciousness in your household that will allow a 15, 16-year-old man to have some perspective or some understanding or some a feel for what's going on in the community, what's going on in the world in which we live in? What's your thoughts on that as a father?
Well, the big thing, we just don't make it about basketball. That's it. You can't make it about basketball because, I mean, his gift is basketball. But there's so many other things. Like I tell him every time, someone's seeing you for the first time. You got to amaze them, and you want them to fall in love because you have an influence on them, whether it's on the basketball court, in life. You don't know what they're going through. So every time someone sees you play, you want to make them smile. It's just not about basketball. If it's about basketball, then as a parent, I think we failed if it's just about basketball.
I appreciate you stepping on that.
I want him to just go ahead.
No, I appreciate you stepping on that. I want to kind of take about 30 or 40 more seconds on that because we have a lot of parents that do listen to this situation. Elaborate a little bit when you make the point a lot of y'all may not realize that Mr. Hampton was a high level basketball player. Played at SMU, was a high level basketball player right here in North Texas, in Oak Cliff, Texas. Probably one of the 5 best players in the state of Texas when he was coming along, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, Rod. I mean, you got to realize Rod. I mean, I don't think Rod understand how big he was in the community. You know, Rod was that. You know, when you couldn't put your hand on that NBA player and all that, it was a bunch of guys, and I know me and Rod know that. His Rod mother used to call him Little Magic. And guess who my favorite player was Magic. My favorite player became Magic Johnson. You know why? Not because Goree Johnson liked Magic Johnson. Rod Hampton like Magic Johnson. I wanted to be Rod. That's who I wanted to be. You know, and that's the influence that RJ has to understand. When you're in high school, you don't realize it's not always when you make it to the pros or in college. You're impacting a young kid right now.
There is a 10-year-old kid somewhere, 11-year-old kid somewhere, a 9-year-old kid somewhere that is watching you, RJ. But one of the things I want to get back to what I was saying with Mr. Hampton, you know, you had the experience of leaving Oak Cliff, Texas, and going to the Hilltop, going there to Highland Park, Texas, and being at SMU in an environment. And one of the things I guess that I try to pass along to every parent, every kid, you're going to have their attention, like you said earlier, Hemp. You're going to have their attention for a period of time, and you're going to have a window and opportunity to influence. And like one of my buddies, Bobby Hatter, always said, we can use our influence for good. We can use our power for good. We can use it for bad. And it sounds like that in the Hampton household, you identified that, and you're grooming and developing a young man that has a sense of consciousness and responsibility and understanding of how he can be such a good, positive impact on and off the court. Is that pretty accurate, what I'm saying there?
Oh yeah. It's real accurate because, you know, we try to go to middle school games in Little Elm. I try to take him back to when he was in Frisco, when he was in middle school. When those guys see him, you want to see the level of play that they try to play with. Just because, I mean, we're at a game the other day when we played Creekview. After the game, the whole JV team wanted to take pictures with him. I'm like, RJ, you're going to be here and take pictures with every single guy because guess what? If they waited around to take pictures with you, you owe it to them. And guess what? RJ wants to do it. I don't have to make him do it. Yeah. He wants to do it. I mean, this is a world of followers, you know, social media, but you guys said the right thing. You can influence them in the right way, right, and you can influence them in the wrong way. But as a family, we want to influence them the right way.
Right.
And like I said, it's not about basketball. I tell them all the time, you sit at the table with the people at lunch who don't nobody want to sit with, and watch that table fill up with the people who think they hot stuff. You sit there with the guys that are in remedial classes or the, you know, for lack of a better word, the slow guys, whatever. You sit there with them, RJ, and watch how that table fills up. You make somebody feel good who came to school as an outcast. Right. You can do that. And that's what it is, man. It's not about basketball. It's your vehicle, it's your platform to spread your wings and show everybody I'm just like you.
Right. Let me ask you something. Rod, and this is you and RJ both. We got a couple of minutes to answer this, and then if we don't get it all answered, we still can come back to this next segment. But I want to, real quick, it's a lot of people and parents and a lot of stuff. You hear a lot of people do a lot of complaining with their grassroots, their AAU, their spring and summer teams and summer selections and everything. I got to commend you guys because one thing you just never hear about is a lot of commotion about RJ and his summer basketball every year. So I mean, I know you guys, you and Rod, you and Stacy, y'all have done a good job of keeping your hands on it. And one thing you know is that RJ is not being taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you know that. What was the plan? What was the plan on that? You know, year to year. What's your plan when you putting together what RJ is going to do in the summer? What's your thought process on that?
Well, the plan was just to put him out there on a national stage, and he exceeded everything that we sit down and thought of. He exceeded. Mm-hmm. He did that, not us.
Right.
So now he's a national name. We've got to get a better team. Believe me, we grinding just like everybody else. We trying to secure guys, but you'll never hear an official announcement. Guess what? That first tournament in April, you'll see what we got. But before then, we're not going to say so-and-so with us. That's just not what we do. But guess what? We got a player that's going to bring out scouts, that's going to play hard. And if you want to be with that player, then you join our team. If not, good luck. But what it's about getting these guys scholarships. Right. So the guy that I'm recruiting right now, he said, Coach, I want to win a gauntlet championship. I said, well, we might not be the right team for you because I want you to get a scholarship. Right. And that might not mean winning the gauntlet championship.
Okay. Well, hey, Rod, hold on. I knew it might catch us on time. We got to go pay some bills real quick. But, RJ, I want you to marinate on this because as soon as we come back, I want you to tell us and tell the other kids how comfortable does it make you to know that you don't have to worry about the business end and you know that your dad and mom and all them, they got that taken care of? I want you to marinate on that when we come back in about 120 seconds at the Lone Star Sports Show. We'll be back with RJ Hampton and Rod Hampton in just a second.
Hey, here we are back with the last segment, right deep in the paint, right here. At the
Hey, Coach, I know we left off. RJ know what he got to answer when we come back. Before we come back here, Coach, for all the to all the people that's following, and we trying to and we trying to get all you guys to follow to our new Lonestar Sports Network channel. We know y'all listening over there. Most of our listeners are still over there at Dallas Weekly Online. Y'all can continue to do that, but we want y'all to get the visual experience over here at the Lonestar Sports Network. We just started the Lonestar Sports Network in January, but we want y'all to follow in so y'all can chime in. Stacy, we didn't need RJ on for the show right now because Stacy basically told us everything that Ron and RJ both did told us over here on the live chat.
Tell Stacy, as my buddy and my business partner, but tell Stacy he don't do quite the same thing for ratings as
RJ.
It's RJ.
Hey, Snoop, let me say one thing, Snoop. Can I say one thing, Snoop?
Go ahead, Ron.
There will be no Texas BU Nation without Stacey Houston.
That's right.
That's it. I don't got to say nothing else.
No
there
doubt.
will be no. Now, I ain't talking about RJ Hampton. I ain't talking about Ron Hampton.
Yeah.
But they will be.